What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle. Tonight, Wednesday evening, December 14th. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic out there. We just got done with our waiver wire run today, and now Wednesday night hangout. We're going to go over all the start sit questions you guys may have. So if you're just getting into the chat room, come on in, get comfortable. We'll go over your questions when they come through. But the main important thing tonight is we're going to go over the practice reports. We're going to try and set the stage for the rest of the week. I do plan on going live tomorrow night as well. We'll go live 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That's about 45 minutes before kickoff. And then I'll probably end up doing a Friday night live stream as well to recap all the practice reports from the week. So come on in, hang out. We'll go live for the next half an hour or so. And basically, let's just hop right into some of the player news and reports that I found today. Good evening to Daniel. Hope you're doing well. A lot of things going on today, a ton of limiteds, a ton of player practice reports. So like the main ones, I guess we're just going to start at the top here. Josh Jacobs limited today, not too concerned about that. Let's keep it moving here. The Saints tight end, if you need tight end help, Juwan Johnson's going to be back, limited with that ankle. He didn't play very well the week before the bye week, but all of a sudden, if you need tight end help, I don't mind Juwan Johnson. Tannehill limited. Good to see DeAndre Swift not on the injury report here, so we love that. Robert Woods not practicing with an illness. A ton of illness reports going on. I should probably actually hop into a screen share here and show you guys what we're looking at. Good evening to Harris. Can we drop DJ Moore? That depends who it's for. He's got the ankle injury. I believe he practiced today, though, in limited capacity. Let me double check his reports. DJ Moore, he got a full practice in today, so he's going to play. I'm not sure if I love him anything more than a wide receiver 3 flex play. So if you have DJ Moore on your team and he's kind of like a wide receiver 4 or 5 for you, and you want to grab somebody else, I'm okay with it. But good news, like he was able to practice in full today. And maybe I should just stick onto this thing, and we'll kind of keep a look and see what's going on here. So for the Arizona Cardinals, I don't see anything too crazy for practice reports. For the Falcons, nothing either. For the Ravens, a little bit lengthier of an injury list here. We're not going to get Lamar Jackson this weekend. So plan for Tyler Huntley to play, and it's good to see Huntley getting a full practice in today. He had a concussion, limited on Tuesday. They're going to play on Saturday. Good to see a full practice on Wednesday. So I'm going to say Tyler Huntley's going to play this weekend. That's pretty much only Mark Andrews that we care about. I think JK, I'm probably going to get a lot of J.K. Dobbins questions at some point leading up into this. And I think he's kind of a low-end RB2, not going to get a lot of receptions. If we go Tyler Huntley or Colt McCoy, Colt McCoy's a hard sell for me. I don't know if I want to risk my fantasy playoffs on him. I'd rather have someone who's got that rushing upside. In terms of the matchups this weekend, it does look like the Broncos, one of the hardest teams to score quarterback points against, so it's not a great matchup for McCoy. We don't really love it. The Browns, for Tyler Huntley, the Browns are giving up about 15.82 points, so I don't hate this matchup. I'm going to lean with Tyler Huntley and his legs over Colt McCoy there. But otherwise, relatively good stuff going on here for the skill positions in Baltimore with the Buffalo Bills. Nothing new here. Everyone that we care about is practicing, so good reports on the Buffalo Bills. It looks like the Carolina Panthers gave Deonta Foreman a day off here, DNP. Not worried about that. Again, DJ Moore practicing in full. He's going to be good to go this weekend unless there's a setback tomorrow or Friday. And then Laviska Shenault practicing on the offensive side. On the Chicago Bears side here, Chase Claypool not practicing with a knee injury. That's really strange. An illness for Justin Fields. I didn't see any concern in that one. So, but for the Bears, it's pretty much Justin Fields and David Montgomery. We don't care about the receivers. On the Bengals side, we were watching Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. Both these guys get limited practice participation, so they're both on track to play. So good news there. Nothing else here. I guess Hayden Hurst, they have him listed as doubtful with that calf injury. So assume no Hayden Hurst. We're going to watch Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins the rest of the week. And a couple other DNPs for the defense here. Jalen Davis, Trey Hendrickson, and Mike Hilton. So that's a bit of a tough start to the practice week for the Bengals defense. Let's see. The Browns play on Saturday against the Baltimore Ravens. A couple guys not practicing here. David Bell, Clowney, Amari Cooper. This one's interesting. Again, they play on Saturday. So this is kind of like a Thursday practice for them. And that's not great. Back-to-back DNPs for Amari Cooper. I'm a little bit nervous there. So I'm going to say you're going to want to play Donovan Peoples-Jones this weekend. And then it's nice to see David Njoku practicing. So it's going to be probably DPJ and Njoku type of week against the Ravens here. What's up, Christian? Waddle, Watson, or Higgins? This is a tough one, and add Garrett Wilson to that. Garrett Wilson's probably in the mix. Again, we don't know what's going. It's hard because I don't know what Higgins is going to be, what his availability will be, and I mean at this point I don't know if you trust it. Maybe we let him sit on the bench and go from there. And the way Waddle's been playing in the Dolphins' offense, it has not looked great. I don't know if I trust it. I'm kind of feeling the rookie wide receivers here, Garrett Wilson and Christian Watson. I don't know what you think about that. But looking at the matchups here, the LA Rams, one of the not so great teams at defending the wide receiver position. So I like Watson here. And then you see the Lions, one of the worst teams against wide receivers. So you are getting two really nice matchups there. Waddle in Miami. You're going to get Buffalo Bills. It's in Buffalo. It's going to be a tough matchup. And then with T. Higgins, he's going to get Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's technically a tough matchup on paper. So I'm leading the rookies right now. But that could change over the next couple of days, depending if Higgins is going to be good to go. But I'm going to go with the rookies. Do you like J.K. Dobbins? J.K. Dobbins is frustrating because he got the touchdown. He got a lot of volume last weekend, but he looked so gimpy on that long run that he had to set up the touchdown. Where I'm nervous about it. Like he's not 100%. He's got a bulky knee right now. I think he's an okay RB2 and better. He's not much of a great PPR play because the Ravens just don't throw to the running back. So if you can stomach, a 6 to 10 point PPR floor, I'm okay with J.K. Dobbins being a running back too. There's a couple other guys I'd rather play in his range though. Bam Knight, Swift, or Jet McKinnon. McKinnon's probably the next most popular player I'm going to get questions on this week. And I want to advise caution on Jerick McKinnon. He's not going to be catching touchdowns every week. He might be continuing to, he's on a streak right now of 2 straight games with touchdowns. He could continue that, but you got to think about the game script in this one. A game against Houston where we don't expect it to be competitive. That could be a lot of Isaiah Pacheco. I'm thinking I'm probably going to rank Pacheco better than McKinnon this week. So I like McKinnon in a PPR format. I'm cool with it. And then you also have Zonovan Knight going. He's got a tough matchup. Zonovan Knight going up against the Lions. The Lions do rank 9th toughest against the running backs here. And I think in the last 5 weeks they're like the number 1 team. So I'm going to say do not start Zonovan Knight. Probably DeAndre Swift, but then even he has a tough matchup against the Jets. So I'm leaning towards Jerick McKinnon in this one just because he's got the safe PPR floor. He's hot. I'm going to say McKinnon in this question. Which one would you start between Montgomery, Gibson, or A.J. Dillon? Well, good evening to you, Bill. I would normally say I'm going to start the guy that's going to get the most volume. That's probably going to be David Montgomery, upwards of 15 to 20 touches. Antonio Gibson coming off a bye, but he's still kind of dealing with the foot injury. I'm interested in Gibson, but he's got a greater range of outcomes and a little bit more risk in his profile. And then A.J. Dillon, he's been running hot the last couple games. I'm not really quite sure what's going to happen with him. The Rams do give up a decent amount of running back points lately. So it could be a nice matchup here, but I think I'm going to rank them as Montgomery, Dillon, Gibson. And then do you like Fournette this week? He's okay. I don't love Fournette. It is a tougher matchup against the Bengals. He's kind of the number 2 guy now behind Rachaad White. Let me pull up the routes run for week 14 and we'll kind of look at this and show you what the splits were against the 49ers. It was kind of a weird game against the 49ers, so I'm not sure how much we can learn in this game as they pretty much just played from behind the entire game. So 1 second while we get to it. Let me just do a little zooming. So Rachaad White, 40 snaps, Leonard Fournette, 36, 20 routes for Rachaad, 30 for Leonard Fournette, 5 targets, Rachaad, 7 Fournette, 13 carries for White, 4 for Fournette. So it does look like Leonard Fournette is kind of the third down back. And if I look down here at the snaps, he led the team in third downs. He led the team in 2-minute drills. But it does look like short yardage and early downs is Rachaad White. So I'm okay with Leonard Fournette. He's more of a PPR play at this point, though. He's not going to get a ton of carries as he was earlier in the season. I would expect, at best 5 to 8 carries, and hopefully he cashes in on some of those receptions for you. Yeah, no problem. But I'm going to get back to going over some of the injury reports here. We're looking at Cleveland. Again, I mentioned we're watching Amari Cooper. As of right now, this does not look good. Back-to-back DNPs. He needs to practice tomorrow for us to get excited about his availability on Saturday. A lot of dinged up Cleveland Browns here. The Dallas Cowboys look to be in full strength here for their fantasy offense, so we love that. We're watching the Denver Broncos closely. It looks like no practicing yet for Cortland Sutton or Kendall Hinton. So continue to use Jerry Jeudy. He had his big breakout game, the 3-touchdown game on Sunday. He looks pretty good. And then it looks like Russell Wilson, DNP with that concussion. They do play on Sunday, so we'll give him tomorrow and Friday to see if he can go. But as of right now, it looks like Brett Rippon is going to be the starting quarterback. So advise caution with your Broncos. I think only players I'd want to, assuming Russell Wilson's not going to play, it's like Jerry Jeudy and Latavius Murray. Like those are the only two guys that I think I can lean on. Looking at the Detroit Lions, pretty healthy here. And the Lions offense is looking really, really good right now. Jameson Williams is back. DJ Chark is back. All the running backs are healthy and not on the injury report here. So fire up your Lions. It's a tough matchup against the Jets, but I do like the Lions offense right now. It was a limited practice for Njoku, but it's not a new injury or anything like that. It's the knee that kept him on the injury report last weekend. So I'm okay with this. The good news is he hasn't had a setback with the DNP or anything. Walker's going to be a tough play because he plays the 49ers, man, and the 49ers right now, the number one team against running backs. They've only allowed 5 rushing touchdowns all year. If you play Kenneth Walker, I mean, keep in mind, before his injury, he was not playing very well. He was very touchdown dependent. You look at some of his numbers here. The couple games, 3 games, 3 kind of duds, on the ground here. If not for the touchdowns, it would have been a bad week. So 3 for 36 against the Rams before the injury, 14 for 26 against the Raiders, 10 for 17 against the Buccaneers. So I think you're hoping that he can fall into the end zone. You're hoping that he can catch a handful of passes if DJ Dallas doesn't play. So he's fine. He's kind of like a fringe running back too. I think if you don't have any better options, I'm okay with Kenneth Walker. And hey, we got a Twitch hanging out with us tonight. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for finding us. And yeah, we've been streaming on Twitch for the last couple of weeks or so. So we're trying to grow that account. If you guys are on Twitch, if any of the YouTube subscribers are on Twitch, you guys can find us there. The account's called theFellowKGB. So let me know if you have questions, my man. We'll get to them when I see them. What is Amon-Ra's outlook this week? Amon-Ra is going to be busy. I'm assuming because he kind of dominates in the slot. So he's probably going to be able to avoid Sauce Gardner, I think. But who knows? Maybe they move him inside. I'm not really quite sure how they operate with him if he guards a lot of players in the slot. But because of Amon-Ra, he's a target hog. I think he's going to be just fine. Good players usually come through in tough matchups, so I'm not overly concerned about it. But I don't know if I'm going to be ranking him as like a top 5, he's kind of like a fringe top 10 wide receiver play this weekend. And I would kind of expect something like last week where he had a nice day, 8 targets, didn't really blow up in the stat column, but he still had a nice floor. So I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, but we got to pump the brakes on him a little bit this week. Wilson or DeAndre Hopkins? I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson. It's a great matchup against the Lions secondary. Mike White's probably going to play. It's non-PPR. I like his options for a touchdown. Hopkins, significant downgrade to Colt McCoy. I think the Cardinals season has officially ended here. So I'd rather go with Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense. They have some excitement going for them. I don't really know American football, so I don't have many questions about this subject. All good, my man. All good. We're just hanging out, talking some fantasy football, getting ourselves ready for the fantasy playoffs here. It's a big week. It's a big week around the fantasy football space. But we're going over some of the practice reports. We left off on Green Bay didn't have theirs in there, so I'm assuming that's good news. We're probably going to get I'm assuming we're going to get Romeo Doubs back. So I do like Aaron Rodgers' outlook this weekend against the Rams. The Houston Texans, this is a lengthy list. No Nico Collins, no Brandon Cooks yet. You got Justin McCray, Steven Nelson, Dameon Pierce. I'm assuming Dameon Pierce is going to be out for the next game or 2, and I've seen sometimes 3 games. So it looks like Dameon Pierce is not going to be in our lineups for the fantasy playoffs. Really, the Texans, probably not a team we want to be using now that we're in the fantasy playoffs. I know I picked up Dare Ogunbowale. Maybe Rex Burkhead could be of use. But otherwise, I think we're staying away from the Texans. If you need someone, maybe Chris Moore, wide receiver, slot receiver. That's assuming no Nico Collins, no Brandon Cooks. But otherwise, we should just avoid the Houston Texans in general. And hey, I appreciate that. Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Hopkins, or Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco is going to get fed the ball. They're playing the Texans. Teams run the ball on the Texans. No team has given up more rushing yards or more rushing touchdowns. I think this is Pacheco week. If I'm ranking Chiefs players, it's Mahomes, Kelsey, Pacheco. and then McKinnon. I love Isaiah Pacheco in this one. The Colts. Coming off a bye, they look pretty healthy here. Nothing to be concerned. You're starting Jonathan Taylor. You're starting Michael Pittman. On the Jag side here, Trevor Lawrence, I'm probably just giving him a day off with that toe injury. I don't think it's something to be concerned about here. A DNP is okay, and then the rest of the offense looks pretty fine. We'll watch the health of the guard Brandon Scherf, though. We want him to play for Travis Etienne's purposes. Chiefs, everyone's full practicing here pretty much. Where is Kadarius Toney's the only one. He's limited, so no Kadarius Toney quite yet. We'll see about that. But the Chiefs I saw they did activate they're going to activate Mecole Hardman. He might play this weekend, if not week 16. So if you want to stash somebody, take a peek and see if Mecole Hardman's available in your league. Good evening to Aiden. And then, yeah, we'll get to the Pat Freiermuth injury in a little bit when we get to Pittsburgh. It sounds like he's going to play, though, but we'll get to that in a little bit. For the LA Chargers, it looks like Derwin James, the only guy not practicing for the Chargers. That does hurt their defense. But for fantasy, Mike Williams, full practice. Love to see that. Justin Herbert's going to smash this weekend, guys. It's going to be Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, Austin Eckler going up against the Titans defense. Titans defense allows the second most fantasy points per game. It's going to be a pretty good game from the Chargers offense. So make sure you get your Chargers in there. The Rams, no practice reports because they play on Monday. So the Rams and the Packers will get their first updates tomorrow. The Raiders look pretty good. They're still keeping Josh Jacobs limited here, but Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, that's really all we trust. They did elevate Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow today, so that does make me like Derek Carr a little bit more. I don't think that's going to hurt Devontae too much. It does hurt Mac Hollins a little bit there. On the Dolphins, let's see here. A handful of guys not practicing. River Crocraft, no problem. Tyreek Hill, great to see him in full practice. These guys play Saturday night, so good to see him getting a full day of practicing on Wednesday. Otherwise, relatively good here. Teddy Bridgewater practicing in limited capacity, so they're going to get their number two quarterback back. And then Jeff Wilson, I'm assuming Jeff Wilson's not going to play. Raheem Mostert is a deep, RB2 flex play if you need somebody. Let me get caught up on some of the comments here. We'll cover the Pat Freiermuth one in a little bit. Watson or Pittman, full PPR. I kind of like the matchup for Watson a little bit more than Pittman. Pittman does have some things going for him coming off a bye. It's let me go back to here. I'm going to change it up. It's the Vikings. We just saw the Lions destroy the Vikings secondary. I'm going to say Michael Pittman here is probably the guy that's going to get fed coming off of a bye. Either way, though, Aiden, you got two really good options here. I think both guys are probably going to have nice games. I'm going to lean Michael Pittman. Colts coming off a bye. Minnesota's very, very bad against the opponent wide receiver, so I'm going to lean Pittman, but I get it both ways. Pretty good options. Saints defense a good start versus Falcons, or do you like Broncos versus Cardinals? These are two of the more popular questions I've gotten on fantasy defenses this week. If we look at here, let me go to the spread chart. These are probably both top 5 options this weekend. The Rams projected to score the fewest, but then there's the Cardinals projected to score only 17 points this weekend. And then the Falcons, I don't know why the Falcons are projected to score up here upwards of 19.5, but I'm going to lean Denver. It's in Denver. Cardinals offense is limping into this one. Broncos still got some pride to play for, but it's kind of like a flip a coin situation. Both home games. I do like the Saints against the rookie Desmond Ridder, so maybe I'll lean the Saints there because of Desmond Ridder, Aaron Jones or Stevenson. It doesn't sound like Stevenson is on track to play. Let me let me just do the Vikings real quick. Nothing really to report on the Vikings. We'll skip to the Patriots. This is the one we're going to be watching the rest of the week. Ramondre Stevenson didn't practice with an ankle injury. If he's able to get a limited day in on Thursday or Friday, I'm optimistic he'll play. But for now, we have to assume Ramondre won't play. The good news, I guess, for Patriots is Damien Harris is practicing, so there's a chance he plays. But either way, I think right now, even if Stevenson plays, I'm probably going to go with Aaron Jones over Stevenson. Aaron Jones coming in off a bye, nice and fresh. A home game against the Rams. The Packers should win, put up points. I'm going to go Aaron Jones. DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, non-PPR. We're going to go DJ Moore there. We like his matchup. We're going to go DJ Moore. I like his matchup a little bit more. Marquise Brown going up against the Broncos, not a great play. We'll go DJ Moore. And good luck on your exam tomorrow. Hope it all goes well. Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, non-PPR. I think the hot hand is Mike Williams. Amari Cooper, again, we covered his practice report. He didn't practice today or yesterday. He's in doubt for Sunday or for Saturday, so we'll cross him off the list. You're purely looking at Mike Williams or Chris Godwin. I'm going with Justin Herbert. If he's going to throw the ball 45, 50 times against the Titans, Mike Williams is going to score. Titans, one of the worst defenses in the secondary position right now, so it's Mike Williams. Juju, Gabe, or Elijah. Gabe's a tough start right now. He's been pretty lackluster the last month and a half or so. I think you lean into Juju in this one. I know on paper it's a tough matchup against the Texans, but Juju's playing pretty well. He's in the slot. I think that should be fine. I would rank them as Juju, Elijah, Gabe Davis. It's a good matchup for Elijah Moore too, especially if if Corey Davis is out with that concussion. But I think I'm going to lean Juju in that one. Pick 2: Higgins, Wilson, Pittman, Watson. That's a tough question. The good news is though, like if you say Higgins plays, these guys are all top 20 options, Aiden. So I wouldn't lose sleep on this decision too much. I would probably play the rookies, Watson and Wilson. These guys are hot, both great matchups. I think I'm going to lean with the rookies, Wilson and Watson. I have Waller and Hunter Henry. Should I wait a week to see if Waller is ready to roll? I would wait a week on Waller. We don't expect him to just come back in and get 100% participation, whether it's target snaps and all that stuff. So I would pump the brakes on Waller. It's not a great matchup either against the Patriots. I would rather play Hunter Henry in that matchup against the Raiders, who Henry's been coming around. He's been playing a little bit better. Jonnu Smith seems kind of be non-existent in that offense. So I'm going to lean with Hunter Henry in that question. Let's see. Aiden says, pick 2 and a first down and 40-yard bonus. Akers, Bam Knight, Jambo. Who's Jambo? Tutu. It's probably Zonovan Knight. He's going to get the most touches, so we'll go with Zonovan Knight. Chris Godwin or Rashad White, non-PPR. Probably Rashad White. He's going to have the best chance for a touchdown. He's going to lead the team in carries. We'll go in a non-PPR. I'm usually going to lean towards the running back on that question, so we'll go with that. Jameson Williams. I do not trust Jameson Williams. The dude only ran like 6 routes the other day. Look at this. He only ran 6 routes. He was able to catch a touchdown on 2 targets on a broken play. He's not on the field enough for us to trust. I know he's got the big play bonus. So if you think you can hit on one of the 10 plays he's going to be out there, like he only played 13 snaps too. The numbers are against you. It's a tough matchup against the Jets as well. So I'm going to say no Jameson Williams. Waddle, Evans, Judy, Adam, or St. Brown. Jerry, Judy, and St. Brown will be the 2. Let me get back to, I'm going to go over the Patriots again. So Ramondre Stevenson, assuming he doesn't play this weekend, you have a chance for Damien Harris to be back in the fold. He's going to be the first and second down runner if he plays. But otherwise, be ahead on the waiver wire. Go pick up Pierre Strong. He's going to be the pass catching back. They also have another rookie named Kevin Harris. Essentially, I would say Kevin Harris is Damien Harris's backup. Pierre Strong is Ramondre Stevenson's backup. So for PPR purposes, you're going to want Pierre Strong. And it doesn't look good for Jacoby Myers. He's limited with the practice, limited practice with concussion, but we'll see if he's able to go. Akers or Tutu in that bonus league. Tutu, we'll go Tutu as a pass catcher. Lockett or Olave in PPR. It's a tough matchup for Lockett, but he's been balling out this season. Did they play earlier in the year too? I believe they've played already. Lockett against San Francisco. Back in week 2, he had 9 for 107. I'm going to lean with Lockett. I trust him. I don't think Cooper's going to play, and if he does play, he's not 100%, so we'll go Watson. Should I pick up Kmet and start him over Hunter Henry? I won't be dropping anyone important. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. The Eagles are not great against the tight end. Cole Kmet has been playing better of late. I mean, he's kind of like the leading target there. We saw Chase Claypool pop up on the injury report. I would roll with Cole Kmet here, my man. That's a good call. Dalvin Cook, Rashad White, David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, Jalen Waddle, PPR, pick 2. I think, let's see. That's a tough question. That's a lot of options. I kind of want to stick with Dalvin Cook, and I kind of want to go with Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook. I'm going to stick with the running backs. Pick 3. We'll add Jalen Waddle to that mix. I think Waddle will get going soon. I expect the offense to get heated up for the Dolphins soon. I'll stick with the playmakers that got us here. But I'm going to keep going through the injury report here. The Saints, Mark Ingram, IR, no good. Otherwise, everything else looks okay here for fantasy. Jawan Johnson's in play if you need a tight end. You're starting Chris Olave. You're starting Alvin Kamara. That's about it. Keep an eye on Rashid Shaheed. For the Giants, a couple guys not practicing here. Richie James not practicing with a concussion. That's going to be big news for Darius. Maybe Darius Slayton's in play if you need a wide receiver. He did play well against the Commanders a couple weeks ago. Otherwise, it's nice to see Saquon Barkley not even on the list here. I don't even see his name here. So Saquon Barkley good to go. That's fantastic news. And then we'll keep an eye on the rookie tight end, Daniel Bellinger. If you need another tight end, he could be an option if he plays. Let's look at the New York Jets. Jets got a couple guys not practicing here. Corey Davis probably not going to play with a concussion. Basically, if your player gets a concussion this year, I'm going to assume he's going to miss at least one game. That's kind of how it's been going. We're going to watch the health of Quinnen Williams. That's going to be a huge loss for that offense or for that defense if he can't go, a gain for the Lions offense. And then Mike White, looking like Mike White's going to play. So start your Jets offense if you can. Let's see here. Hollywood, Judy, Collins, or Gibson. Is that Nico Collins? Judy's the guy. And I know it could be with Brett Rippon, but it doesn't look like Cortland Sutton's 100% healthy with that hamstring. Kendall Hinton didn't play either. I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy against the Cardinals defense, which is pretty bad. Mike Williams all day. We love the matchup for the Chargers this weekend. I'm going to break ties in favor of Chargers receivers. So Mike Williams for sure. Heineke or Sam Darnold. Did Heineke play okay against them in that big tie that they had the other day? Heineke he had 17 points. I like Heineke. I'll say Heineke here. I don't entirely trust Sam Darnold. They like to run the ball a lot. I don't expect them to score a lot of points. I'm going to go with Taylor Heineke in that question. Let's see here. Swift, Dobbins, Zay Jones, Stevenson, Harris, Walker, sit 1, half PPR. I don't love the matchup for Kenneth Walker, and he's kind of banged up right now. That does scare me. I think if you have Stevenson and Harris, I would rather hold out hope for clarity on that, because if Stevenson plays, we'll play him. If not, I think Damian Harris is a pretty good play. So if we have to sit one guy in a half PPR setting, and Zay Jones has been playing so well, man, it might be DeAndre Swift going up against the Jets. I think I'm going to sit DeAndre Swift. He didn't play well last weekend. There's 3 backs now in the Lions backfield. I think I'm going to say sit DeAndre Swift. What do you think? What do you think, Daniel? What's your first thought? I like Nico a lot, but I don't think he's going to play. He's already DNP on his first day of reports today. Philadelphia, good health here. They're going to get Dallas Goedert back. He's got a chance to play this week, if not week 16. So I like Dallas Goedert coming back for this offense. The Steelers, here's your Pat Freiermuth update. He is listed as questionable with a foot injury. The note that I saw did say he's optimistic he'll play. So this one's going to probably run to tomorrow and Friday on his practice reports. But if he plays, you're going to want to play him. Najee Harris not practicing. That's concerning with the hip injury. We're going to have to watch Pat and Najee the rest of the week. The good news, though, Deontay Johnson's not on the list, so good to see there. And Kenny Pickett, limited with the concussion, so that's interesting. He's on track to play coming off the concussion. So we got Seattle Seahawks here. I'm going to assume DJ Dallas is not playing. He hasn't practiced all week. Kenneth Walker's playing tomorrow. It's a tough matchup. I've been getting the most questions on him so far this week here. So he hasn't been playing well. He's dinged up. It's the number 1 defense that he's playing against. He basically needs a touchdown to make our week. So it's not a great matchup. I would say play him at your own risk. But otherwise, everything looks pretty good here for Seattle. No DJ Dallas expected in this one. On the 49ers side, we know that Debo not going to play, and everything else looks fine. Christian McCaffrey good to go, full practice. Brock Purdy on track to play. He's been limited with that oblique injury. I think the 49ers are going to look pretty good here. So George Kittle, You have George Kittle, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have Christian McCaffrey. Keep an eye on Jawan Jennings and the backup running back there, Jordan Nason. Let's finish these up here before I get to some more questions. On Tampa Bay's injury report here, first one of the week, Julio Jones not practicing with a knee injury. I don't know if we're using him for fantasy, but he has looked just as good as Mike Evans lately. So, but otherwise, nothing too concerning here. It's good to see Leonard Fournette off the injury report. A lot of guys not practicing, though, on the defensive side. So watch that defense. Going to be a good week for Joe Burrow and the boys. On the Titans side, no practice yet for Treylon Burks. That's a concern here. Hopefully he can get in Thursday or Friday. I'm assuming right now this looks doubtful. Robert Woods also not practicing with an illness here. Basically, the Titans are Derrick Henry, and that's it. And you're going to want to start the Chargers offense against this Titans defense. And the last team here is the Washington Commanders. Nice to see nobody with a DNP coming off the bye. Gibson limited, as well as Brian Robinson limited. I expect both guys to play, and I think Brian Robinson's probably a top 15, top 20 play this weekend. So that's all the injury report. Let me get back to some of the questions here. I don't trust Zay. That TD came off the defender's hands. Zay's just getting volume right now. I think that's what's crazy is he's been getting a ton of volume. He's been winning on the outside. But I get it. If you don't want to use Zay, I'm fine with it. He's been on a heater though. That's the only thing I'm nervous about. Whereas DeAndre Swift, if I hit compare here, let's go to Swifty. Let's look at Mr. Swift. Oh, I should probably select him and then Zay Donde. I mean, DeAndre Swift only 7 points last weekend, 6 carries, only 3 receptions. Zay Jones is going to get just as many receptions, if not more. I know he had the dud in week 13, but I think right now you probably want to try and find a way to get Zay in the lineup. Njoku or Pat. I'm going Njoku. You have Amari Cooper probably trending towards not playing. Njoku and DPJ are going to be the guys. Go check your waiver wires. Go see if Donovan Peoples-Jones is out there. He's going to be a must start if no Cooper. No, Zay's not going anywhere, Aiden. They signed him to a 3-year deal. Like Marvin Jones is going to get pushed out. So next year, your starting receivers are going to be Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk. I don't expect them to draft a wide receiver in the first round, but you never know. But I think Zay's a pretty good receiver. If he's their number 3, that's fantastic news behind Ridley. So I like Zay. I don't expect him to leave next year. He signed a 3-year deal. Swift or Walker. Good evening, Robert. I'm going to lean with Kenneth Walker in this one. It's not a great matchup, but he's going to get the volume. I don't trust DeAndre Swift at all. So we'll go with Kenneth Walker. Foreman or Lazard, full PPR. Foreman's not going to help you out in the PPR department. Lazard can. The problem with Lazard, though, is Watson's been dealing. You have Romeo Doubs coming back. I'm a little bit nervous about his target share. It's a good matchup against the Rams, but Foreman is going to get the volume against the Steelers. I'm going to lean with Alan Lazard. A home game for Lazard, that does feel good. And with Foreman, you also have to deal with Chuba Hubbard and the Blacks. You're getting more opportunities lately. Cooper Kupp next year. Let's see. I'm concerned, man. Cooper Kupp, probably what? How old is Cooper Kupp? 29? 29 years old. Going to be turning 30 in the summer. He might have another elite season or two, but this is also attached to the health of Matt Stafford. If Stafford's not 100% healthy, it could be, kind of frustrating. So for now, I don't really have any clear thoughts. I need more, we need more reports on their off-season rehab and things like that. But he's probably not a top 5 pick. He's probably more of like a fringe first rounder at this point. Bill, Devonta, Peoples-Jones, or Ayuk. I'm going to go with Devonta Smith and DP. It's easy. Go with DPJ. Even if Cooper plays, I still like Donovan Peoples-Jones. Outside receivers have been pretty good against the Ravens. So I think it's Smith, DPJ. We'll leave Ayuk on the bench, even though Debo's not playing. I'm excited about Goddard practicing. If you can pick up Goddard, go stash him. I'm not going to say to start Goddard this week in his first game back, but week 16, he's definitely in the mix. Good evening, Justin. We'll hang out for another couple minutes, guys. I got a couple more questions left in me. Marquise Brown or Raheem Mostert, PPR. Mostert against Buffalo. Mm, trying to find Buffalo here. Buffalo's a top 10 defense. I'm probably going to lean with Marquise Brown because it's full PPR. He can catch passes. He's probably got a safer route to 8 to 10 points. Debo droppable, yes. As long as it's not a dynasty league or a keeper league, you can drop You can drop Debo. He's not going to be back. They might try and get him in there week 18, but hopefully your league doesn't play in week 18. I think it's safe to drop Debo and redraft. Thoughts on Waller? It depends on who your backups are. I'm probably not going to want to play Darren Waller this weekend in his first game back against the Patriots. He might be on a limited snap count. He might not be 100% himself yet, and conditioning-wise, things like that. I think I would want to be patient with Waller, and I'm probably only looking at him for Week 16. Not a great spot this weekend against the Patriots. Do allow a handful of touchdowns, but I don't trust him coming back in his first game. Should I believe in Titans D against Houston next week? I would. The Titans allow, passing stats, but Houston doesn't really have the ability to pass the ball. So I'm cool with stashing Titans D for next week. Good evening, Nick. Get Jeff Driscoll or Mike White. Do not trust the Houston Texans at all. It sounds like they're going to use two quarterbacks. Davis Mills and Jeff Driscoll are both going to get some opportunities in that game. We know Mike White's going to play the whole game as long as he's healthy. It's against the Lions. I'm going to go with Mike White in that question. I'll answer 2 more questions before I get out of here tonight, guys. Again, we'll be going live tomorrow night for sure. If you guys want to hang out and get some more questions, and we'll get some more answers on practice reports. Vikings, Broncos, or Saints defense? Not the Broncos, or not the Vikings. My bad. The Vikings, not a good defense. They shouldn't be trusted in fantasy football at all. You're looking at the Broncos or the Saints. Like, these are the top 2 streaming options that I've seen all week. I do like the Broncos at home against a reeling Cardinals team, but I like the Saints at home against a rookie. I think that's probably where I want to be. So either way, Saints, Broncos, both top 5 options, but I'm going to lean with the Saints, Desmond Ridder. And I hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you guys are new to the fellowship, definitely subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you guys have questions, you can always comment on this video. Find me on Twitter or TikTok. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow night live, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll see you there. Peace.